People mocked Jesus and yelled out at him, "Save yourself. Come down from the cross. He saved others. He cannot save himself." This was, of course, completely missing the point. To actually save others, Jesus would have to go through with this remarkable act of loving sacrifice. Jesus could not save himself if he wanted to truly save others. It was precisely by not saving himself that Jesus was able to save others. No greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. And despite all this mocking and torture and the rejection and betrayal that came earlier, Jesus would lay down his life for all these people. Jesus was heard to say from this cross, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing." This cross, this act of grace, is all about forgiveness. Bringing the possibility of forgiveness to us so that we can live as forgiven people, which will include forgiving others. Humanity had got to the point where they would need this ultimate act of sacrifice to get past their guilt, shame, and brokenness. There was a huge roadblock here. All the detours just went round and round, and there never was any other way back onto the right road. If there could be a way where sins could be forgiven, guilt removed, shame vanquished, and brokenness healed, then the whole world could be changed for the better, one life at a time. If people could get past their mistakes and failures, receiving and offering forgiveness, then there would be a chance for reconciliation to occur within relationships. People could experience true peace and discover intimate relationship with God. And instead of making situations worse, become creative peacemakers. Lessons could be learned on the path to spiritual fulfilment. This was the vision of the cross and the view from the cross. When Jesus spoke of destroying and rebuilding the temple, he was really talking about how the spiritual fabric of humanity had to be transformed and rebuilt. And no other course of action would work to achieve God's goals of reconciliation. Only suffering servanthood. God came to earth to show us what divinity was about. A deep desire for humanity to live into the potential of the original creation. This involved taking all of our burdens to the cross. Jesus came down from heaven to minister and teach, then down further, into the saddest level of human behaviour, where he would die in the worst way possible. This unprecedented act of service was taking upon himself the sins of the whole world, past, present, and future, to the extent of suffering a torturous beating and an excruciating death on a Roman cross. Everyone misunderstood what God's Messiah would be like. Not the all-conquering hero to simply liberate them from Roman rule. This being just the stuff of general convenience wish lists. No real change enacted there. Not a commander who would jump down from the cross wielding a sword and taking over the government. No, not that. Totally the opposite to this. Attracting hearts open to change. Wanting voluntary followers. Bringing healing to the spirit and salvation to the soul. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, Jesus quoted 3 years earlier. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim release to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to let the oppressed go free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favour. And so Jesus will die on that cross. He won't save himself, for he is set on saving others. He is set on saving us. Real faith was not going to happen if Jesus just came down from that cross in some spectacular display. True seeing and believing will come through understanding what was really happening here. Here, Jesus was dying for the world God loved, in the hope this would mean a new beginning for individual lives and better futures for communities all across the earth. Does the story end here at the cross? No. But while we are here, we need to ask ourselves how we should respond. How should we respond to what Jesus has done for us? For some, it may be kneeling at the foot of the cross and accepting the grace of God into your lives. Having been lost, now you are found. We all need to know Jesus. For others, there may be the need for a statement of recommitment and refocus, where life has become slightly pear-shaped or distracted by other endeavours. And then for those who already know Jesus as Saviour, friend and Lord, you may need to grow in your capacity to forgive others. And strength for this also comes from appreciating this gift on the cross and kneeling below it. Whatever the reason, wherever we are in life, let us kneel today at the cross, where Jesus has died so that we might live. As Mel sings Lead Me to the Cross, I invite anyone who would like to actually come forward and kneel at the cross to do so.